There we go. Helps if I unmute myself. Welcome to the live stream. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch today's live stream. I am Mike Vardy, of course, the creator of this channel, and I am a productivity expert. You know this, you're here, you're subscribed. If you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. That way you don't miss a single video. I post weekly. There's some mix of live, some film videos, all that stuff. So today I am going to be doing a live working session. I am building a product called the 6. That is what I'm working on right now. I have my coffee in tow, as you can see here. I will be, for the next hour, working on the elements of my new productivity program called the 6. Now, I did a webinar on this a few weeks ago. I'll put a link to it in the comments once the live is done so you can kind of see. Hi, Christina. Good to see you. Christina is a member of the Time Crafting Trust community that we have here. We're also in the throes of moving that to a new site as well. Lots going on in the world of productivityist and Mike Vardy right now, and the 6 is one of the big ones. So what the 6 is, it's a simple productivity program. You can do it in a multitude of ways, primarily 6 to get started, and then from there you can add your own to the mix as well. The idea behind it is we always have a lot on our plate, a lot of things to do. And the idea behind this program is I wanted to make something that was simple, flexible, durable, and sustainable. Hello, Nikki, who's here live as well. If you're not here live and watching this after the fact, you can leave comments and let me know what you think along the way. But it's good to see some people here live on a Saturday morning here as I go through the process. So the whole plan here is, Amanda, great. Wow, that's awesome, Amanda. Thanks for joining us here today. So today I'm basically going to be doing a live working session. I have a multitude of camera angles that we will be showcasing. In some instances, you're going to see me over here doing some work where it will be, you may hear me a little bit when I'm over there because that's my standing desk area. That's where I'm going to be doing some writing. I also am going to be doing some stuff here. Oh, and we froze up again. There we go. And also, I will be doing some work here on the computer as well. I also have a desk right here, as you can see. And you can see the webinar screen here as well. Got a lot going on here today. And I actually have my iPhone running as well. So I may be doing some stuff so you could see that live as well. The whole plan here is to kind of see some of the process that I've got as I build this product. If you're interested in picking up the 6 and learning more, you can click on the link in the description. Okay. Right now, prior to launch, I'm offering it at 33% off the regular price. So it's normally $99, but from now until August 1st, so basically a week after the launch, it will be you can get it for $66 if you use the code, the coupon, the link that's in the description. So this is the plan, and I'm going to be using my elements of time crafting as I process this. So today is a themed day. Today is my family day normally, where I'll be spending time with my family, but it's early enough. I'm going to spend some time with you. But if it's not family time, I normally am working on some sort of planning. In this time period, though, this is what I would call a horizontal theme. If I was doing this consistently, more than one day a week, but this could be considered to be a time block, a focused time block. And we do this inside of our membership community as well, where we have a focus fixes, where basically people spend time working on very specific areas. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Christina. That's a very kind thing for you to say. And this is exactly the whole premise of the 6 is to promote that gentle approach to productivity. Because as I was saying, we have a lot of things that we have on our to-do list. It seems somewhat never-ending. And in a lot of cases it is, because the to-do list is never really done. Well, the idea behind the 6 is to give you some kind of end game. And I'll show you really quickly kind of the concept behind it. So this all was born from this idea of a hexagon. Let's switch cameras and see if we can get this thing to work the way we want it to. All right. So all these things were born from this idea of the hexagon. And there's a video here on YouTube. I'll link to it in the description as well, by I always mess his name up, CPG Gray. and it's called hexagons or the bestagons. And for those that are watching that are members of Time Crafting Trust, or have taken the Forge Your Future Challenge, all that stuff, you see me talk about this. So the hexagon is the most dense shape with the most strength, and I'm paraphrasing this here, that we have. In other words, you can take hexagons and stack them side by side across a plane, and you would have no gaps, but you'd also have the most square footage or area that you could fulfill. A triangle doesn't give you that. A square doesn't necessarily give you that, but a hexagon does. Hexagons are inside of airplane wings because they're strong, but they're also pliable. They're flexible. So hexagons kind of fall in line with what when I talk about time crafting, hexagons fit that model very well because I want time crafting to be simple, flexible, durable, and sustainable. Hexagons, simple, flexible, durable, sustainable. So the idea behind the 6 is that there's 6 sides to this. So when you purchase the 6, you'll see that I have what is normally known as my daily driver. It's a daily planning sheet. You get a special edition of it, basically. And it's, instead of having a circle in the center, it's called the power ring, it has a hexagon in the middle. And the idea behind it is that you would fill in each side of the hexagon. So you go like this, and as you make your way through the day, if you complete the hexagon, you've had a strong day, because the hexagon is the strongest shape there is, really, one of the strongest shapes there is. 6 things per day. If 3 is the magic number, then 6 is a monumental number, right, or a momentous number, right? So to me, this is where this all kind of came from. So the idea behind the 6 is that you want to be able to either complete 6 impactful things per day, or track 6 habits per day, or break a project down to its 6 possible steps and complete that per day, or spend 6 days working on a project and you mark off each day as you do it. That's the beauty about the 6, is you can make it what you want it to be. So that's the plan behind this. And what I'm going to be doing today is, if you can see this over here, things that are included are audio training, video training. I won't be doing any video today. Obviously, I'm not going to be filming anything while I'm doing this. Won't be doing any real audio programs either, just because of the nature of the technology. But I will be working on things like the Facebook group, working on some worksheets, drafting some written content, things like that. The official launch date of the 6 is Monday, July 26th. So I've still got some work to do, and that's why I wanted to do this. Not only to showcase what my work would look like for, when I'm building something, also give you the opportunity to ask some questions, but also so that, it gives me an hour or so of focused work time. So let's get to it. If you have any questions along the way, yeah, there you go. Amanda's saying I'm lucky if I can get one thing done on my to-do list per day. So here's a question. I'll ask the live crowd this right now, because this is something that I am going to definitely, that is going in the 6. And I think that for somebody like you, Amanda, and I know you're not alone in this, would be incredibly helpful, is the idea behind the 6 and the idea behind a to-do list is to make sure that you make it doable, right? You want to make sure that you look at your to-do list and go, I can get this stuff done. Now, when you go deeper into the work I do, we talk about theming your time and mode-based work and all that stuff. But if we were to just go simple, right out of the gate, again, something that is known to you. One of the biggest problems with to-do lists is that we don't break our projects down into the smallest particles that we can. So, for example, if you have on your to-do list something like, here we go, I'll give you a great example. Build the 6, right? Like the title of this video is Watch Me Build the 6. If I just wrote down on my to-do list, build the 6, my brain would immediately go, and this is not something I can control, but it would say, there's no way I can build the 6 today. I can't finish that today. Now, what's fascinating is I'm not really expecting that. That's not what I want. What I want to do is build an aspect of it, or make some progress on this project, the 6. In most cases, when people put things on their to-do list, one of two things happens. Number one is they don't put verbs in front of their tasks, which is, again, another element that I've talked about. Actually, that was part of the webinar, is how to make your to-do list more doable, and adding verbs is one thing. That's a simple solution that just takes practice. The second one, and this is a bit trickier because we tend to compound tasks inside of our to-do list, or we tend to, again, take a project and confuse it with a task. If I was to say, build worksheet X of the 6, that's something I could do in a day, right? That's something that I could do. And that would be one thing, right? I could even go so far as to say, do research for this worksheet. That would be step 1. Step 2 would be to write the worksheet. Step 3 would be to design the worksheet. Now, those are 3 different tasks, right? There you go. Unpack my, okay, Amanda's got this. Now, I know if you're watching this after the fact, this is an example. Amanda, that is more than one task. I would, if you were breaking this down, and again, this is something that is going to be put into the 6 as well, is this idea of making sure that you make your invisible elements on your to-do list more visible, that's more than one task. That's more than one task. You should, what I would do is I would break those tasks down. Instead of unpack my suitcases, it would be unpack suitcase A, or unpack the black suitcase, or unpack half of this suitcase, or put away X from this suitcase. You got to break it down to give yourself more of a chance. Unpack my suitcases. First off, that your brain goes, there's no way I can get all those suitcases done. First off, I have no idea how many suitcases you have, right? Secondly, there's more to it than that, right? So the other thing is, you said from my trip in January, you're automatically got guilt and shame and regret associated with that because it's been 6 months, almost 7, right? So that is an example right then and there of a to-do list that you need to make the invisible visible. It doesn't mean you have any more tasks than you already had. It just means you're seeing them, right? And that's one of the biases that we have, right? That's one of the biases that we have. So what ends up happening is we end up saying there's no, I'll be able to do that, no problem. Or no, I know what is involved with this project, like Nikki's saying in the chat. She's saying, sometimes I'm not sure how I'm going to complete a project. It kind of unfolds when I'm doing it. So in essence, that's a good example of having a list just for a project, right? But you still need to break down that project into its smallest particles, right? So for example, I'll give you an example, and we'll go back to this idea of the hexagon. So if you could break down your project into 6 steps, the 6 essential impactful steps, right? And you stack these against each other. So let's say for the 6, it's like, I'm going to build this video, and then I'm going to build this video, and then this, and you stack them together, you're getting this really strong bond. Not only that, but once you see it in front of you, it makes it that much more doable. Now, you only have 2 suitcases, Amanda. So again, maybe you instead of saying, I'm going to unpack my suitcases, you're going to say, spend 25 minutes or spend 30 minutes unpacking 1 suitcase. Leave it at that, okay? But you got to put it down in front of you. You can't just see the suitcase and go, oh, I got to do that, I got to do that, I got to do that. This is where, again, having a simple system. If you could complete the hexagon in a day of 6 things, you're golden. And what's great is the way that we're designing it also is you could do 6 things for work, 6 things for home if you want. You could say, I want to do 3 things for work and 3 things for home, and then that's a perfectly balanced day if you want. Right? So there's lots of ways that you can complete this, but the whole point is that we want to kind of make to-do lists more doable, and we want to make the idea of productivity something that's, achievable, right? Often we have so many purposes that we want to work, and so we can't actually move forward in a purposeful way, right? So when you have something that you can, a shape or a frame that you can attach it to, that's going to help you because you've got some boundaries there. You've got a framing device. you know what you can accomplish, right? So if you were to say, hey, you know what, I've got these 6 things that I must do, that I need and want to do today, that's going to be super helpful. So again, we're always going to have lots to do. There's no question about that. So the key here, though, is to make sure that you put yourself in a position to give you the best possible chance to do the right things as often as possible, right? So what my plan is with the 6 is to make sure that that happens. We can add other layers like I've talked about, and the idea of working by mode and operating by mode and theming your days. Those are all things we can kind of layer on top of it. But ultimately, at the end of the day, the 6 is, so for somebody like you, Amanda, would be, I want to get 6 things done per day, and then you strive for that across the board, right? Send that one email I've been meaning to send. Spend 25 minutes on that suitcase. Plan meals for tomorrow. Things like that, just to give you that strength. Because the more you pile these hexagons together, the stronger your days, your weeks, your months seem to be. Right? We often don't consider the things that we're doing on a daily basis. Those simple things are building blocks, right? They're some days don't have to be incredibly stupendous. They just have to be, look, I got these things done, right? I got these 6 things done, and that could be the benchmark for success, right? So my plan today is to kind of get working on this. I wanted to find out from you, and I'm glad that you've addressed this idea of you only feel that you can get a couple things done, or the idea of a project, some things unfold with a project. This would be a great example of one of the worksheets that we're going to put together today. So let me get into that right now. Let's do that. So I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to go to Chrome just real quick. And I'll put myself in the corner so you can see me. All right. So, so I'm going to go, and of course so I'm going to go to Canvas. So this is this was a worksheet that I've kind of been working on. So let's go to my designs. So here's the daily driver, the 6th edition. I'm going to move some stuff out of the way here. All right. So, and we're going to rename this. And a lot of this stuff that I do, just to be clear, as I do this stuff, a lot of it, I have team members, but a lot of this I do myself. So the ease about this one is there's the hexagon, there's all this stuff, etc. I'm going to zoom in a bit so you could see. Let me get this out of the way, of course. Oh. I think I can zoom in. Yeah, there we go. Boom, right there. All right. So one of the interesting things about this worksheet is, and again, this is the whole idea behind the 6 real quick, is that it's going to evolve over time. So it's something that while initially it may look a certain way, there will be more things added over time. All right. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take this, because and we're going to make that go like this. Center it. So this is Canva. And I've just taken a PDF. I use Canva Pro. And you could see that I've just eliminated that, right? All right. So the other thing I want to do is I'm just going to copy this. I'm going to paste it down here. Going to move this one right to here. And I want to get that out of the way. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go to text. And we will just add a subheading here. Bring this up. Now, so we want that dead center. And then we're going to type in. we'll call this the and I already have preloaded the fonts in here that we use. So we use these fonts, and I'm going to make this all capitalized, and I'm going to make it smaller. Okay, so we put that right there. So the idea behind this one is daily theme, weekly sprint. We don't need any of that stuff there. But what we want to do is these are the 6 essential elements. You can kind of figure this out. And actually, we could call this, we might even change this to, actually, let's do this instead. Because I like this idea better. I don't know if I like that title, but I also don't know if this is going to work very well, so we have to make it a little bit smaller. Yeah, I don't know that I like that. All right, so here's an example of me trying to kind of see if I can make this work. It didn't, so we're going to put this back up here. All right. We're going to call it this for now. Again, these are, I'm a big fan of alliteration, so we'll go back to elements here. Oh, right, because I used this recently. We're going to go like this, go up like this, and get that out of there. Go down like this and make sure that it's, yeah, see, there we go. We'll go here, go white. And then what we can do here is, and I believe, where was the, there's the 6. All right, perfect. So we'll just leave that like that. Oh, we'll go over a little bit more. So in here, I'm going to add some more text. Let's add some body text here. We'll move that up. I think we need to make that a little bit bigger. We'll do 21 because it's the year 2021. Okay. So now, what you want to do is work through 6 elements for a chosen, determined for a project you've determined your okay. Oops. Make progress on. How many are your, if you're liking this, just give me a thumbs up if you're seeing what I'm doing. Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the chat. Perfect. The 6 There we go. As we make progress on and since it's probably already hard to see, and as much as the 12 font is good, I'm going to use the 14 just because my eyes need help as well. Okay, so there we go. So now what I'm going to do is I actually have to make it 12. I don't like how it's centered, so we're going to do that. Okay, so this is, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to call this the project progressor. I might redo that. Oh, I don't like how that happened. Well, we'll just do this. So in Canva, the file name is one thing, but each sheet gets its own name too. So I am going to change this to that. I'm going to make it a little bit bolder. There we go. All right, so here's what we got here. Now, what's nice about this, if I want to make another worksheet, all I have to do is duplicate it. We're going to call it whatever the next thing is, and we're going to go from there. But for now, I'm going to delete this one. And we're going to download this one. So when using this worksheet, what you want to do is work through 6 elements tasks for a project. You've determined you're going to make progress on lists in the action column below, and then the 6 impact. And people, for more on the mode, watch the video for this. Okay, and then what we can do here is we can go. Now, I am noticing. All right, so there we go. We'll move this up just ever so slightly. Yeah, I'm going to have to go down to, oh, it is at 12 already. So now what I can do, though, is I can group these, right? I think there we go. So I'm going to slide this down. Oh, nope. I'm going to group them. And now, oh, well, that's weird. Huh. I think that went away. Let's fix. Oh, no. Don't want to do that. Okay. So what I can do now is I can ungroup them. I don't know where that went. See, this is, there you go. You get to see some errors happening live. So what's that? Paste. Oh, there we go. All right. We're going to delete that and we're going to delete that. Oh. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to, oh, I see what I've done there. So we're going to copy this and paste it right there. And of course it didn't work. There we go. Perfect. Now, I think the best thing for me to do at this point is to, so there's that, and then it's very tricky sometimes to get, so that's the white square, which I will move down. Nope, that's not the white square. No, we're going to leave it like this for now. This is where you get a designer to help out. So this is what I'm going to do, and then eventually I'll get a designer to come in and make it a little bit better. At this point, though, we're ready to download. So I'm going to hit the download button. I'm going to go to all pages, get this out of the way. We're going to call this project. We're going to download it. So now it's downloading it to my computer. And then what I'm going to do, just to get it into where it needs to be, is I'm going to go to Podia, which is my, I'm going to go to the product. We're going to go to the most recent product. You're getting some behind the scenes stuff here. The 6. Now this is not where it's going to live permanently. It's eventually going to move to a new location. I'm going to edit it. And I am going to go to print materials, and I'm going to add a new lesson. It'll be adding a file. I'm going to make sure this is the right sheet, and it is. I'm going to open it. Now, you're like, wait a minute, Mike. No, you've got all these worksheets. I don't understand. Don't worry. In Podia, what I can do here is I can click on this, and I can call this Project Progressor. Now, it's going to say the 6 worksheets again. I will probably replace that at some point. As a matter of fact, what I can do is I can do this. It's just easier to do this now. Downloads. So we're going to call this the... And actually, and I'm going to drag this to Dropbox. And all of my files for the 6 are there. And then I will drag the project progressor right to there. And this worksheet allows you to complete the 6 for any project you've determined you want to make measured and impactful, not to mention sustainable and consistent. And I'll fix that. Progress with, there are instructions on how to use it on the sheet itself, but I encourage you to watch the accompanying video to get an even clearer idea of how to make this worksheet work for you and your important projects. Okay, and then I just go, as a writer, I will go back and do that. And how is not Gordy how. Visibility, everybody can see it, blah, 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 save. Okay, so now the next thing I'm going to do, and this is a bit, is I'm going to go to, I think it's, okay, so this is for me, and it says assign for me, so I'm just going to assign it to me. Add subtask. Create video for the project progressor. I'm going to assign, this is in ClickUp. This is my project management tool of choice. I'm going to assign this to me. I'm going to start, the start date is today. The due date is today. And I'm going to save it. Okay. And now we'll go back to Ecamm Live and we'll switch to camera view. All right. So that's the first, that's one thing. So if you are already enrolled in the 6, and I know that some people watching live are already enrolled in it, guess what? You can now go get that new sheet. So I know Christina's watching it. I know that Nikki, you're in there as well. So there you go. That's step 1. And so the whole point is what I would be doing and what I will continue to do is, especially for worksheets. And again, remember, I'm still going to be doing audio and video. And what's interesting about this whole process, just to be clear, is I will probably take the video that I'm going to shoot, right, and rip the audio out so that that can be an audio set of instructions for people who are using the worksheet as well. So that way, if they're actually working on the worksheet, they don't need to be looking at the sheet. They could be listening. So I will go back in and revise that to say, watch the video or listen to the audio or whatever. I can go back in and do that. I can revise the worksheet really quickly to make that happen. I can also revise the file description as well. But here's the thing. I don't know that I'm going to necessarily do that. What I'll probably do, and I think this is probably a better thing for me to do, is I will, inside of the video description inside of Podia, and again, this will move to the new platform soon enough, is I will put, if you don't want to watch the video and you just want to listen to the instructions, please listen to the accompanying audio. And so then I don't have to make any other adjustments. So that's just the idea of work. There's two sets of efficiencies that are happening there. Number one is I am I'm not having to go back in and fix anything I've already done. I can just add it to the new video file. And the second and probably more important thing is I'm creating two pieces of content with one fell swoop by doing the video, right? So these are elements that I think are really important when you're working. Is as you're making your way through it, try to figure out where you can measure twice and cut once, right? That old adage, or work smarter, not harder, right? I promised audio, I promised video, I promised worksheets. Just now, I have essentially created the worksheet, which spurred on the video, which will spur on the audio. Boom, done. I will be doing this for at least another 5 ways to work the 6, not to mention all the other things that are happening. And I've already got some other ones planned you didn't see in here, right? So, and remember, this is an ever-evolving program. So if you purchase it, you're going to have access to it for as long as either A, you purchase it outright. If you purchase it outright, you're going to get updates consistently, right? Free updates. If you are a member of Time Crafting Trust, you have access to it as long as you're a member of Time Crafting Trust. So, and if you're a member of Time Crafting Trust and you buy the 6, no matter what, if you own the 6 outright, you have access to it. Okay. And it's going to be available consistently. It's not like I'm going to get rid of it or there's only going to be a window. I will say there will be a window for the pricing that's available right now during the launch. But after that, for $99, you're going to get access to it consistently. And there's going to be some other delightful things I'll add over time. But that's the thing, is that when you're building something, you want it to be, you want it to be like the hexagon. I love these things, by the way. I don't know how I'm going to use these because the lights show up, but you want it to be simple, flexible, durable. You want all that. So, oh boy, they're all lighting up down here. I have a whole box of hexagons for the record. So that's the game plan for me. Let's go back in and if you're in here and you're watching, let me just check and see who we all have here live as we're doing this. I've got my iPad here, so I'm going to take a look. Right now we have we have a good number of people in here live. What I'm going to do actually right now is I am going to record the audio for this. Well, I probably shouldn't, because if I did the audio for this very particular thing, then I would be circumventing exactly what I just said. So I do have an audio program that I want to do. I have over here, and what I'll do is I'll share this with you so you can see it. Let's go to Filmic Pro. I'm gonna show you. Oh, that's why. So, just to give you a sense of what we've got going on here. Here is my tech desk, and I know I'm holding my phone. So this is what I have available, and this is like my command center. And as you can see over here, in the far corner, I have what's called a Rodecaster Pro. Okay. Now the Rodecaster Pro has an SD card built into it. So I can actually record my audio while I'm doing this live with you, And then I can take it off of that and end up having this great audio file. So I'm going to do this right now because what I want to do is I want to share with people that it's important, like how the 6 works, right? So what they can do. So I'm going to record this right now. I'm going to hit the record button on my Rodecaster Pro. I will be doing some post work on it. But what I'm going to share with you right now is, and I'm going to go to, I'll go to camera 2. I'm going to talk through what this audio program looks like so people can have a chance to listen to it. So here we go. When you're working through the 6, there are a couple of ways that you can attack the whole process. Number 1 is you can decide that you're going to stick with one very specific way of doing the 6 for an extended period of time. I recommend, fittingly enough, 6 weeks of doing that, if that's what you're going to do. So whether you are going to attack it using the project progressor, whether you are going to attack it using the 6 habit method, whether you're going to attack it using just getting 6 things done per day, try that for 6 weeks straight. That's one way to kind of approach this, okay? So keep that in mind as you are making your way through the program. Remember, you have access to all this stuff as long as either you purchase the program outright or are a member of the membership community. But if you don't want to attack it that way, if you are more of a let's try the buffet approach and try different elements, you could do that as well. But I would suggest that if you're going to try to do it, one way and then another way and then another way, that you don't try to do that every single day. So don't try to do the 6 days of doing 6 things in a row. So another way to approach it is to do the buffet approach and try a little bit of every method or every approach that's available to you with the 6. But what I would caution you against is doing that over the course of a week, right? So stick with one for 1 week and then move on to another the second week. That way you can go through all 6 initial ways that we've come up with over a 6-week period. So if you want to try tracking 6 things per day over an entire week, first do that. Then go to the project progressor, then go to, the habits, what have you, right? But try one of those 2 approaches. So either stick with one way of doing the 6 for 6 weeks straight, or do all 6 with one way per week over 6 weeks. That's the recommended way to do it. So there you go. Give that a try. And if you have any questions at all, you know how to reach me. Thanks again for picking up the 6, and I look forward to seeing you. Now you're good to go. So get started with the 6 today. No, that's not good either. This is a bit of an improv here right now, just to be clear. So now that you have a couple of ways that you can approach the 6, you're ready to get started. So what are you waiting for? Make it happen now. Okay, so now I have recorded the audio. So what we're going to do is I'm going to open up GarageBand real quick. Let me just go back to sharing my screen with you. We're going to go to GarageBand, which will open up fairly quickly, and I'm going to change the window. Oh, no, we're going to cancel. We're going to download that later. Oh boy, here we go. All right. Oh, let's go back to Ecamm and let's change this to GarageBand. Okay, and that's not what we want to see. We want to see the gift. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go with a new file. We're going to go with an empty project. I really only use GarageBand for this sort of stuff, just to be clear. So we're going to choose a project. Now, when I'm making this transfer, you're going to hear my microphone go weird, just to be completely transparent. So I'm going to, I don't need this audio track. So I'm going to change this. If you're ever using GarageBand on the Mac, if you're just doing an audio, just do this. Like, just change it to the track level. Okay. So here's what's going to happen. I am going to change my microphone to the built-in microphone here. So you're going to have some pretty crappy audio for a second here, okay? So now you're hearing me through my built-in microphone on my Mac. And what I need to do is I need to transfer the sound from my Rodecaster, which would only take a minute, right? Once I've done that, then I can get back on the regular microphone. So if you're hearing this right now, don't be like, Mike, your microphone sounds terrible. I know it does. That's because I'm using the internal mic. I'm going to drag this over to here. Shouldn't take too long. As you can see, if we go here, you can see that I'm moving the file over. Shouldn't take too long. Have a sip of coffee while this is happening. Now again, I think it's going to close. Yeah, you can see it making progress here. The essential sound library I don't really need right now. Okay. While this is happening, by the way, I am going to go and drop in the chat if you're interested and you haven't already purchased it until August 1st. You can get the 6 with that coupon code. Okay, back to GarageBand. It's converting it now. Once that's done, I will get my regular microphone back on. We only got about 14 minutes left, so you're going to see me do this. I will edit this down, then I will add it to the mix. And this is basically like the 2 ways to approach the 6. This is what this audio. Okay, so now we're done. I'm getting the beach ball. Wow. All right, so there we go. And we'll switch back to my sure. And we'll switch back to my regular microphone if I can. There we go. That sound better? If it does, let me know. All right. So there are lots of audio files here. With the Rodecaster, you get multi-track. That's kind of the way it works. So I'm just going to delete all the tracks that don't matter. By the way, it's my son's birthday today. He's doing his own YouTube thing right now. So so I delete every single audio track that doesn't matter. And this is in stereo, so I don't really need both. But if I play it, and I think you can hear it. Yeah, so this is what that looks like. Now, I don't have my headphones on right now, so I can't really hear it. But you certainly can. So let me throw my headphones on real quick. All right, so I've got my headphones on. So, okay, so I'm going to take this. I'm going to delete this. We don't need both. And I'm going to do this. Oh, T, I forgot that's how it works. Video editing and audio editing on the Mac are very different. All right, so now I know there was a screw up here. Okay, I know there was a screw up. Now, I could have made the video for this too. All right. There we go. So there's the first. Okay, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to get rid of that. Okay. So I'm deleting this part. Okay, so I'm deleting that, and I'm going to drag this over. Now, I should probably make this up here on the right. I can make the sound much greater. And then, do you see the difference? Like, I should probably do that. And then I bring it back down. You'd be amazed. All right, so here we go. So I'm going to play this. There we go. Seamless. Now I'm going to watch because I know there's another error coming up. Right? There's another error. Now I will probably re-record this at some point. Okay, so I know that this is probably where the error occurred. Yeah, there we go. And there's the other one. So now I'm going to drag this back. You want to do this before you expand the timeline because, and you want to get as close, because if you don't, you're going to have a lot of gaps. Okay. So the nice thing about this is, now that I can go back, is now there's a couple other things I could do with this. I could very easily add like a bed of music behind it. Now this is less than 2 minutes, right? The other thing you want to do is you want to drag in GarageBand. There's this little thing that is the end of it. So I'm going to hit the space bar, and there we go. So I have an entire audio file here. So what I'm ready to do now is I'm going to hit share. I'm going to export the song to disk. This is going to be really easy because I'm going to call it the 2 ways to get started with the 6. The 2 approaches, actually, we're going to call it. The 2 approaches. We're going to do it. Getting started with the 6. We're just going to call it that. And we're going to make it a high quality MP3, and I'm going to export it. This will take like no time at all. All right. Now I'm going to go, and we are, oh, wait, no, I want you to see this. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to, I'm going to share Chrome again. And I'm going to go, I can quit GarageBand. I don't need to save it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to products. And there you go. You could see some of the other stuff there. Hopefully we'll go to, again, updated. And of course, the most recently updated is this guy. Yeah, we sold a few. And now what we're going to do is, and again, this is, hey, Harsh, good to see you. So audio material. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add a file. This one's easy because I can go to the 6. Getting started with the 6. Now, notice how it does have the file name here. So what I want to do is, like, that's the default that Podia does. I don't know. So I can just get rid of that. And then I can go, there are essentially 2 approaches you can take when getting started with the 6. Note, there are 6 ways to do the 6, but I'm talking about how you approach this program in this audio, in this short audio lesson. I share with you both of these approaches so that you can, get started with the 6 with less friction and more flow. Starting now. And then what I'm going to do is do this, and then I'm going to italicize that, save it, boom, all done. All right, let's get this audio thing off. I don't know where, oh, there it is. So there we have it. That is, so I've made an audio file for the 6 just now. And yes, it was rather impromptu, but it made sense. And sometimes Nikki brought this up during the chat, actually. Sometimes the project things come as you, so taking action on it, I think is really important. I've done 2 of the 6, 2 things for the 6. I mean, if I get 4 more done today, I'm good, right? Because this is part of that project. So I'm actually probably embodying the project progressor right now, or progressor, depending on how you want to talk about it. But in this live stream, which is getting close to wrapping up now, you've seen me build a worksheet in Canva Pro, which I think is a fantastic tool. I'll probably put a description. I actually have a coupon code for Canva Pro. I'll throw that in the description as well. So that way you can check it out. And then I used GarageBand along with my Rodecaster Pro, which you could see right here. Well, maybe you can't see it. Yeah, there it is, the green light right there. To make an audio program. So I have done 2 of the 3 elements that I want to be able to do when it comes to building the 6. And frankly, I'm doing another one by just doing this video, right? Like, so I'm presenting all my content in 3 different mediums, which I think is really important for the kind of work that I want to do. So you've seen me build 2 things today. You've watched me build the 6 in some way, shape, or form. What's great about this is when this happens, and this is definitely going to happen with the 6 as well if you start to go through it, is the momentum of wanting to fill that hexagon, to shade that all in, is going to be really compelling. It's going to be, again, if 3 is a magic number, then 6 is a momentous one, right? And there's the momentum going into finishing those 6, whether it's, again, 6 elements of a project, 6 habits during the course of the day, 6 things per day. And that's just 3 of the ways that you can tackle the 6 right out of the gate. And again, I've said this already, it's going to evolve over time. While there's 6 initial ways to do it, we may find that other people are going to add to that, and there'll be more and more and more. But right now we want to keep it simple, flexible, durable, and sustainable. And I wanted to do that with that live stream with you today. So I hope you enjoyed this. This has been a lot of fun. I enjoy making things, and I enjoy showcasing this. If you want to see me do more of these office hour style live streams, let me know in the comments. If you want to watch me use more screencasting and showcase more of the tools that I use, again, let me know in the comments. And again, I hope that you take advantage of what I'm sharing with you today in terms of the 6 and pick up the 6 while it's discounted before launch, through the launch week until August 1st. That's it for today. I'm really happy to have spent some time with you. I'm now going to go enjoy the rest of my day with my son. I'll probably build some more of the 6 a little bit later too. But that's it for now. Thanks so much for taking the time. Really appreciate it, Nikki. Awesome. Thanks, Nikki. Really appreciate it. I'm glad that. And if, by the way, if you want me to do live streams on other days, let me know as well. We've got the community. We've got all that stuff in the YouTube group. I want to do more YouTube stuff. This is just another example of that. Thanks so much for watching today. If this is the weekend for you and you're watching this live, enjoy the rest of your weekend. If not, enjoy the rest of your day. And remember, stop doing productive and start being productive. Okay? We'll see you later.